being here. It's, I'm sure, a comfort to Beryl's family, to his wife, and correct me, Mrs. Bliach, if I don't pronounce your name right, Frati, and to George, and to Julius, that all of you are here. If for some reason my voice drops a little and you have difficulty hearing me, just give me a sign, and that'll remind me to speak louder. I know the family is grateful that all of you are here. How many of you are family members? Raise your hands. Well, most of you are family, and then there are a few friends here too. That's wonderful. When this part of our service for Beryl concludes, we will walk out to the cemetery, although if it's difficult for you to walk, they have a little golf cart that you can ride in. And we'll have the concluding portion of the service out at the grave. When we finish at the grave, the family will be going out to lunch, and they've asked me to invite any of you who would like to just follow them when they leave the cemetery, if you want to go out to lunch with them. I'm hoping that the family will come to Temple Ahavat Shalom. That's the congregation that I serve, and it's located just down the street, 2 doors down the street to the west, on the same side of the street, this Friday night to say the Kaddish prayer, the memorial prayer. And if they are coming, and you may want to check with them to see whether they are, it would be nice if some of you in the extended family, or some of you who are friends, accompany them as they fulfill their obligation to honor their loved one's memory by coming to a worship service and reciting the Kaddish, our memorial prayer. Again, it's good to be with you. Jewish tradition instructs us to begin a funeral service by turning to the Bible and utilizing the Bible's book of Psalms. And we are instructed to do this because Psalms are either poems of comfort or poems of tribute. And our purpose, of course, at a funeral is to comfort the loved ones and to pay tribute to the person who has died. And so I'm going to begin this ceremony by reading Psalm number 15, which, as you will see, is a poem of tribute. And from what I understand about Beryl, from what the family has told me, and they've all spoken so lovingly about him, I get the sense that Psalm number 15 describes many of, surely not all, but many of the qualities of character and personality, the things that, according to Judaism, comprise a person's soul, that Beryl embodied. Psalm 15. Adonai, that's Hebrew for Lord. Adonai, who may abide in your house, who may dwell in your holy mountain? Those who are upright, who do justly, who speak the truth within their hearts, who do not slander others or wrong them or bring shame upon them, who scorn the lawless but honor those who revere God, who give their word and come what may do not retract, who do not exploit others, who do not take bribes. Those who live in this way shall never be shaken. And before we go on, let me just remind you, if you haven't already done so, please silence all cell phones now, and if they make a little noise when you turn them off, that's perfectly fine. We'll stop for a moment and case any of you haven't had a chance to do that yet. The next psalm is the 23rd psalm. And this is a poem of comfort. And the 23rd psalm reminds us that we're not alone when we mourn, when we grieve, but that God is with us, and that God's presence is manifest to us in a number of ways. One way is through the extra strength with which God endows us at difficult times. Strength that we didn't know we had, and strength that helps us endure the hard times. Another way that God's presence is manifest to us is through the compassion and sensitivity and patience and understanding with which God endows our loved ones and our friends. And they comfort us with all of that. A third way that God's presence is manifest to us at times like this, although it's not actually mentioned in the psalm, is through the gift of memory, which keeps our loved ones close to us in many, many ways, even after they have died. In this psalm, we're going to read the words, "When I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil." Those are important words, because when somebody we love dies, we feel as if we're stuck in the valley of the shadow of death, and we feel as if we're going to be stuck in that valley forever, as if life will never be good again. And while it is true that the sadness caused by Beryl's death will never leave you, it is also true that God has created us with room in our hearts and our souls for us to experience joy, even though we carry sadness with us. And we will move out of the valley of the shadow of death, and life will become good again, although not as good as it was before, but still good. And from the way you described Beryl, each of you described him, I'm certain that he would want you to enjoy life again, and especially to enjoy each other. And hopefully you will do that for the rest of your lives, as you already have been, but maybe even do it more as a gift to him. With that understanding, let's say the 23rd Psalm together. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He guideth me in straight paths for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. At this time, I would like to call upon Beryl's granddaughter, Stephanie, to offer a tribute to her grandfather.